how intense was it when you were traveling with the band? Was it, you know, you were traveling, you were working at such a pace with the police. I mean, it really was a very intense
But
journey.
when you're that age, it doesn't feel like it's such a pace. It just feels like what you do.
Yeah.
And as long as you're doing it, that's a good day.
Yeah.
And when we weren't touring, you know, in London, trying to make it happen, trying to blow wind into the sails, trying to shake the tree, trying to get attention, just trying to make stuff happen, that was tough. And I was climbing the walls of London, you know, or trying to knock them over or something like that. But when you're on tour, you're doing what you did all that for.
Right.
All that stuff there. This is why I did all that, because we're playing a show tonight and we're on tour and we're living the dream.
Were there any differences in audiences when you were playing at that time? Was the U.S. a different?
American audiences are what made us. The punk scene in England was very strict. It was punk, and the rules of punk were very strict.
Right.
Americans, they just wanted to see a band rock out. And since we were English, we got to like headline. And so the support act would be like the local band with all their gear and stuff. And then the headline is all the way from England come out with 2 amps and a drum set. And the Americans had an expectation, and they were impressed by the stuff that we were repressing. They were impressed by what we had repressed.
Interesting.
They liked it when Andy took a solo and blazed out and did all kinds of stuff, and we'd stay on that and we'd go off on that because we actually had to stretch the material. And we could get away with that in America because the American fans didn't know any better. They didn't know that it's supposed to be just 3 minutes, suspended nights or verboten, you know. They didn't know any of that. So we were able to do all that. And so that's where we, you know, having to play 2 or 3 sets a night, stretching our material, stretching each other, exploring each other. Right. That's where we discovered ourselves in the Rat Club in Boston and other places.
So in the improvisational part of the band, which is kind of what that was to a certain degree.
Well, you could call it filler.
Right? Okay. How humble you are. But I mean, so you guys were feeding off of each other.
Yeah, codependent. And there's only 3 of us, so we need each other.
What do you think you took from then that you have now? What qualities?
Oh, all kinds of lessons.
Like what?
From both of them, all kinds of lessons that I've learned. You know, I learned, you know, with the police, it wasn't until years later I learned about band leadership. You show up for an album and you've been working on songs. And by the way, you know, we all went home and wrote furiously to bring to, you know, we all wanted to
bring
contribute.
to the table, you wanted to offer.
And, and if we didn't, Sting would have been really pissed off. What do you mean? I'm there working and you guys have been sitting at home taking your what? You know, that doesn't mean to say he had any interest in playing our songs. But he just wanted to know that we had been working. And so, but what he did was very clever. And there I am, here, listen to all my songs. And I make everybody sit through all my 5 tracks or whatever. But, you know, the first track is my best shot. And yeah. The second shot, well, I like parts of it. Third track, how many more have you got? You know. Not our sage and leading light. He'd reveal his songs one at a time. I got a song. Oh, great. Fantastic. Whoa, another one. You know, home run. Let's work on that. And we're working on that. And, you know, okay, okay, now what's next? Well, they've already heard my songs, but we're kind of interested. What else you got there, Sting? And he pulls out, you know, Message in a Bottle. And so band leadership is all about getting up very early in the day and being the first person with the best idea. And I learned that, and I've taken that with working with lesser mortals.
Right.
You do your homework. Most rock musicians, they show up in rehearsal and they just, you know, you think on your feet. With classical, I learned this with working with an orchestra. It's all about the homework. Right. You've done all your work. You show up, you put it on the page, and in 2.5 hours, 60 guys have got it because you did your homework. There's no negotiation. How about if we go to here? Rock and band is very different. You're thinking on your feet.
Right.
You don't come in with a plan. You kind of learn it there and you make it up on the. You know, it's very improvisational.
Right.
You know, very spontaneous.
Right.
It doesn't have to be, if you've done your homework. And so I got this song here. It's here. It kind of plays like this. And no, here's the song here. Here it is. Okay. Now, and it's like real easy. We'll get that song learned real quick. And so doing your homework and just basically, so what should we do? I got a song. You know, well, you've heard one of the old, you know, drummer jokes. What was the drummer's last words before he got fired from the band? Hey guys, I got a song.
But you have composed some amazing stuff. Movie scores. How do you? I mean, just from a drumming perspective, you've widened the scope of what you do.